What's a Midwest accent? It's like, me and my American friend are drinking Bintang.
Yeah.
It's the Balinese favorite.
This episode of the Bali Boys podcast brought to you by Bintang 0.0, the local non-alcoholic beer. It's our first time trying it.
Shall we crack it, my friend?
Let's crack it.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Fucking cheers.
Fucking cheers,
Fucking
mate.
cheers. I was not expecting that.
What the fuck?
It's fucking sweet. It's disgusting.
It's sweet.
Yeah, fuck you guys. I really wanted to like partner maybe with. It is totally not.
That
my
doesn't
thing.
taste like a beer.
Dude,
That's like a.
it's like
That's
sugar
like
water.
a Mike's Hard Lemonade without the hard.
Dude, I don't think I'm gonna drink. Like, I'll have one more sip just to double check. It's what the fuck, man.
Damn, dude, what a waste of 8,000 rupiah.
I'm glad we started the podcast this way because we're both like unpleasantly.
I'll sip on that. It's not a beer for sure. It's more of a malt beverage.
It's not my thing, bro. You'd have mine. Fuck Bintang.
And we'll never know what the real thing tastes like.
We won't, but I mean, you gotta think it probably tastes similar, right?
I don't know, man.
They try to make the style of the non-alcoholic beer to taste
That's what
like
you'd think, but can you read any of the words on that can?
Chad GPT can.
Yeah, I know
scan.
ChatGPT can.
There's 15 grams of sugar in it, but that's just probably regular beer. Is that like?
Well, there we go. Yeah.
Does how much sugar does regular beer have?
I don't think a lot. Gula and garam. Yep.
Yeah.
There's no protein.
He knows more Indonesian than you might think. Aidan's Indonesian's pretty good.
So one of the ingredients is Parisa synthetic apple. So I'm assuming that's synthetic apple flavor. It tastes like a Busch
Reds.
Light apple.
It's like
that's what it tastes
Busch
like.
Light with like Red's apple ale poured into it.
Pengatur Kesaman Asam
Not my
Citrat.
thing,
I don't
bro.
know what that is.
Are you sure? I expect it to taste like a Bud Light or something.
I did confirm that there's no alcohol in it. You know,
Yeah.
I saw the 0.0, but I had to ask the guy at the store.
Oh,
I'm like,
nice.
this is
Oh,
alcohol
that would have
free.
been good content. Brandon and Aidan relapse.
Accidental
on the
relapse
podcast.
on the podcast. Bali Boys podcast just got way more interesting.
Oh, dude, we would be so cooked. The whole channel would be cooked. Jeez, man. Yeah. So, all right.
It would be a different type of authenticity.
It would be.
Just completely going off the deep end.
If it happens to either of us for whatever reason, which I can assure you that's not going to happen, it would only be fair for the viewers to document such an experience.
Oh, we're going to film everything.
Yeah, you have to. You know, Aidan goes off the deep end. I have to figure out a way to monetize that. What is it? What would Muhammad say? You find the purpose. Everything has a purpose.
You find the purpose in the pain.
Yes. Find purpose in. I just find purpose in your pain.
Hey, man, as long as I get to benefit from that.
Purpose for it. But much to trying something like this Bintang, it's important to try new things. And the experience that we've had over the last week or so, maybe week and a half since we got here, man, has been predicated on trying new things. And
Yeah,
you know,
we've been here almost a month. We've tried a lot of new things.
We really have.
We got a nice weekend trip this past weekend. We made it down to Uluwatu, which is on the very southern tip of Bali. Some very beautiful beaches. We went and saw this beautiful Hindu temple, saw a ceremonial dance.
You want to know what the name is?
Tell
The name, should I tell him the name?
them the name, Brandon.
It's called the Ketchuk dance. I'm not even fucking shitting you. So last time I was here in Bali, someone asked me my name, and it was an individual who, you know, he was a Balinese man, had a bunch of experience working on cruise ships, so he spoke English really well, and he was well versed in culture. So he's like, well, what's your last name? And I'm like, well, my name is Brandon Ketchuk. And he's like, Ketchuk? I'm like, yeah, like kinda. That's a Ketchuk, like the Ketchuk dance. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And sure as shit, dude, the Uluwatu monkey dance is known as the Ketchuk dance. It's like Cechuk or some shit.
Kecak. But the C
K-E.
in this language is pronounced as a CH always.
Yes. So that's
So
it.
like where we are, Canggu.
Yeah.
It's spelled Kangu.
Yeah.
Midwesterners would say Kangu.
I'm going to Kangoo. with my kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
the kangaroo.
Speaking of kangaroos, there's a lot of fucking Australians here.
A lot of them. Aiden, you crushed it, dude. He was in the sauna with one guy
I saw an Australian today in the steam room, and they love to chat you up. Talked about surfing for a whole 20 minutes straight. I'm just trying to fucking relax in there. Jesus Christ. But he was a fine bloke, very nice guy. Getting a little better at the accent.
Yeah, dude, you had it going, man. He was ripping there, but Aiden and I realized that there's cultural differences everywhere, and it's something that you can tune into and appreciate. And I gotta talk a little bit of shit, right? Like Australians are a loquacious people. They're talkative, they're loud, they're gregarious, which sounds a lot like me. If we're being completely honest.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I will be in solitude, right? Much to like Aiden's in a steam room, probably just trying to enjoy some peace. There's not much talk that happens in a spa or a steam room. It's a place a sanctuary, if you will, right? And you get an Australian, he's like, I want to tell you about fucking surfing. And it's like, I'm just trying to get zen before I jump into the cold plunge. You know what I mean? So their characters, they're fun, and it's only a 3-hour flight from Australia to here. So a lot of these guys, they make their money in Australia and they come over here to go on holiday for like 6 months, and
It's a smart move.
Yeah, it's a very smart move, and we're starting to meet more people, and it does seem like individuals that are even multinational Europeans, people from France, and their plan is to go over to Australia and make a bunch of bank money for 2 or 3 months, and then come back to Bali for 6 to 8 months to spend the money and start their companies, right? So we're seeing some similar themes repeat, but it is, man, it's so nice being in an area where you just hear so many different languages being spoken. There's different cultures, a lot of Chinese. Once in a while, Aiden be with me, and I'll butt in kind of on a conversation with Chinese people just to throw them off a little bit, and it's cool. And we get to practice Indonesian out here, and Russian, Ukrainian, and try new things, try new foods, meet new people, go to new places. So it's just been overwhelmingly awesome.
We're meeting all sorts of people from all over the world. You wouldn't believe this. We're going to see a villa last week, looking for another place to stay. And the guy renting it, I walk in, I see a Detroit Lions sign on his wall. I'm like, yes, I'd love to see that. He's like, yeah, I'm from Detroit. I'm like, no fucking way.
Crazy. Dude's cool as fuck. Shout out to you, DJ. I know he's tuning in, man.
What's up, DJ? You're awesome.
It was cool because, it's nice to be able, we talked for hours. We talked about basically everything except for the villa. And we were there to see a property, but we ended up making a friend in the process and talking to an individual who's been out here for 5 years and has traveled all around Southeast Asia. He knew all the best spots, what to avoid doing while you're here, what to do, where to work, how to make it work for you. And it's incredible. And that's one of the reasons why we came out here, right, was to explore, meet people. It's raw human interaction, and you just can't replace that.
Not at all.
That connectedness, because there's nothing.
You never know when those connections are going to happen, and so when they do happen, you just have to take advantage of them.
Yes, and sometimes that means even when you're feeling disconnected from the world, right? Which it happens to all of us. It happens to me more than some of you guys might think. There's times where I want to isolate or where I'm not in the best headspace, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go do the non-negotiables. You're going to show up anyways. You're going to do something you don't want to do. Maybe be around people, and it always works out to be better. There's a plethora of opportunity if you just open your fucking door. That could be, metaphorically, figuratively, or literally, and you just go out and you subject yourself to that, and you meet people, and the opportunity will come. So it was really nice meeting that individual, and since then we've met more people. Met a really nice Canadian girl when we were at Uluwatu.
That's right, yes.
And hopefully
Shout out to Amber.
Shout out Amber. Hopefully you're feeling much better. She was a little bit sick, and that does happen over here sometimes. So it's neat, man. Uluwatu is great, and you guys are going to see a lot in the vlog, but we'd be doing a disservice if we didn't talk a little bit about it. I just got to say, one of the highlights of Uluwatu for me was just the fucking monkeys, dude.
The monkeys, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And the ones specifically at the temple are assholes. They will
Dicks.
steal from you. And people warn you about this. Like, do not have loose articles of clothing or anything sticking off you because they'll take your shit. So when we went to the temple, we were walking past this ledge and this monkey was sitting there with someone's smartphone and no one appeared to be looking for it. So the monkey got this phone without anyone realizing.
He might have been a pickpocket.
And as Brandon walked by, the monkey vaulted off of his back onto this other ledge and then hissed at me when I was walking by. I thought we were about to get jumped by this monkey.
It was fucking
tiny
horrifying.
little monkey.
And they got big teeth. Like their teeth are huge, man. So I was a little freaked out, but you read the reviews on Yelp to go to this temple, and it's like, big alpha male monkey stole my shit. And I'm like, dude, this guy got fucking cucked by a monkey. Like, it's hilarious. So we were talking some shit. I'm like, oh, these people are pussies, dude. Just a bunch of soy boys going to this temple and getting, but like the monkeys are smart. So if they steal your shit, like on Yelp it said, warning, if the monkeys steal your shit, find the man in the blue shirt to feed him. So they've almost conditioned the monkeys to steal shit because the monkeys know that when they steal something, the man in the blue shirt, which you have to pay money to, is going to give a treat to the monkey to drop the item and get it back. So they're incentivized to take stuff.
Yes.
So it's actually created quite a problem in that temple. We saw a Chinese gentleman.
Oh,
he was fucking, dude.
He was mad.
So pissed. He was so angry, and it did make it a lot funnier. And he was like, he literally, like, I think I looked like he was gonna cry.
The monkey had his glasses, and this man clearly could not see very well. He was pissed looking at the monkey.
He was like, huffing
the monkey was just like fucking his glasses up and chewing on him and shit. It was not a good situation.
It had to be destroyed, man.
Well, and then when the guy in the blue shirt went up to that other monkey with the phone, the monkey just like threw the phone on the ground.
I got that on video. I don't have it in the traditional YouTube format, but I do have a clip of that.
Oh, you did get that?
I did. I got him dropping the phone. So what I can do is, I could upload that. So check out Instagram to see the clip of the monkey dropping the smartphone after the guy comes up to him. It's really short, but we'll add that in there. So I enjoyed that. It's the little things, right? But we after that we saw the Kitchuk dance in the fucking absolute pouring rain.
Yeah, to set the scene, when we got to the temple, it was raining like a little bit. So we bought some ponchos. They're just cheap, thin ponchos you can throw over yourself to keep yourself dry.
You're gonna have to pay for them too. There's people out there.
Oh yeah. So we buy our tickets to the K-Check dance. It starts in like 45 minutes, so they direct us to this big like stadium-style area to sit down. And it's beautiful. Like you can see the temple up on the cliff, like sheer drop down to the ocean. But it's raining, and it starts raining pretty hard. So we're sitting there for 45 minutes in the pouring rain before this thing even starts. So we are soaked to the bone. But this place is packed.
It's fucking packed.
The entire place is filled with tourists who come to see this dance. And then the dance begins. And like within 5 minutes of the dance starting, people start to leave.
Yeah, they were pouring out. It's like, me and Aiden were laughing because Aiden's like, how can we get more wet?
Yeah, what are you going to get wetter? We're already completely soaked.
We're fucking soaked, man. Like, I was just trying to cover my phone with the poncho.
That was pretty much the only dry part.
That was the mission. Yeah, it was absolutely fucking bonkers. I kind of felt bad because we stayed an extra day, and I was like, Aiden, can we go see this dance? He's like, yeah, man. Like something, we came out here to see. We'll see it. And it was definitely like the worst weather possible. But one complaint that people have about seeing the Kitchuk dance is that it gets so hot. Because it's a fire dance, and Bali is hot sometimes. Wasn't hot.
Nope, it was not hot at all.
Didn't have any problems with that. So that was like, so we were laughing. We were laughing at all the people that were leaving and shit, and they did a great job. I mean, the people that were
It was an enjoyable performance.
Yeah, they did great.
I think the rain added to the experience
too.
It's
like you have all these people chanting and all that shit, and they're doing it in the rain. And, yeah. Like the guy who was doing that, he had it, dude. He understood the assignment, and you could tell like Christian God was getting really pissed off because it was just storming. I'm like, they're really pissing off some gods and maybe making other gods happy. But yeah, Christian God was not having it at that temple. But what a unique experience to see, and a fun way to end the trip. Did we get like new pants that day too?
Yes, because you're not supposed to go in the temple with like uncovered legs. Which we learned they give you a sarong to wrap around yourself if you don't have pants, but we thought we needed pants. So we went and bought some nice white linen pants, which of course got fucking mud stains all over the bottom of them.
Our brand new bootleg Chinese factory made pants that we love so much.
Every time I try to wear white, it gets dirty. Yeah. This is why I dress dark normally. Dark works for me. I like it. But I wanted to mix up my fashion wardrobe a little bit. Like, let's add some light colors. Every time I fucking wear light colors, mud.
Yeah, see,
it's funny at this point.
It wasn't so much mud for me, but similar. It's I get food on it. I just get fucking food on myself, and that's even more frustrating because you're like, why do I keep doing this to myself? Sometimes mud comes from other people, and you're like, okay, like I didn't fuck myself.
No,
I blame this on you and nature, right? But when you constantly drop food on yourself, you got to change. And I realized that I'd rather change clothes instead of actually changing my behavior because I like to eat the way I like to eat. And
you like to eat.
I like to eat, man. He knows it. But hey, on the eating, I gotta tell you guys, I'm losing weight. I'm cutting out here, dude. Like way less calories, using ChatGPT and just intermittent fasting, 18 to 1900 calories a day max. So
the food out here is so good.
It's great. It keeps you full for longer. The only challenge has been, I don't know if we mentioned it in the last podcast, but protein. You have to work and be mindful to consume enough protein. But we got the protein powder. There's places for protein shakes. Chicken, beef, everything is
mee goreng. That's my new favorite dish.
So you say saya suka mee goreng. Saya
suka makan mee goreng ayam. That's I like to eat chicken fried noodles.
Yes.
So we're learning little phrases here and there.
He knows. Saya suka makan bakso.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's fun, man. And it's another part of the cultural aspect, too, is sometimes I'm practicing Indonesian the most is just with our Grab drivers. I'll be like,
That's the best place to do it.
Selamat pagi, selamat siang. And you just... And they
Sampai jumpa lagi.
He knows it. And, they ask how, basically the questions you're going to have. And this is for any language. This is the same way in China, right? Is people are going to ask, like, oh, okay, like you speak Chinese or you speak Indonesian. Okay, where are you from? How long are you in Bali? Right, these are going to get repeating questions. So,
or the funniest thing is when we're both on a scooter and we're riding next to each other and we start speaking Indonesian to each other, and our Grab drivers are just like, "What the fuck?"
We did it. We had a basic, like a very fundamental, like elementary conversation together back and forth in Indonesian, and with our drivers were like, what the where are these Americans learning this shit? And I used to talk some shit about Duolingo, but back on Duolingo, I love that owl, and it does.
I love that owl.
I love that owl, dude. He's fucking awesome, man. And he keeps you learning. It's a good routine, and it keeps you fresh and you learn new words. But really, you take what that owl teaches you and then you start speaking it. It's the only way to...
Yeah, you got to use it.
Yeah.
You got to use it.
If you don't use it, you lose it. And that's where you have fun. And Grab drivers will teach you, other words, and you can add on to them and practice stuff out. So language it's beautiful. I wouldn't say it's easier. Indonesian's pretty easy, right?
It is,
yes. You study Russian, so you have something to compare it to.
Yeah. After studying Russian, studying Indonesian is much easier.
Yeah.
Very simple grammar structure comparatively. Kind of similar to English.
Yeah. It follows the same subject, verb, object, structure, right?
Yes.
You're not throwing verbs at the end, and without getting too into it, because probably not too many language nerds out there, but there's no conjugating. It's just very matter of fact, very basic and simple structure. I'm sure there's elements that we'll learn when we get more advanced that are going to be different, but
it's nice that we're recognizing signs when we're out. We can read some signs.
Yeah. It's cool, man. And ChatGPT helps a lot too with context. If you need it.
Yeah, Selamat datang di Canggu. I was passed through that archway yesterday. I'm like, oh, welcome to Canggu.
Yep,
okay,
there you go. I'm telling you guys. Aidan's keeping me on my toes with Indonesian language learning. You're Indonesian. I feel like you have a larger vocabulary of Indonesian right now.
My vocab is larger, but you have more experience learning language.
Yes.
So I feel like we're good together.
Yes. Because we
help each other learn.
Because I can piece it together, maybe the syntax and grammar, and apply it. But really, the best way is just to fucking speak it. That's it. It's like anything you do, working out. Well, how do I lose weight? Well, have you fucking started doing anything yet?
Yeah.
No, I've read 10 books on it. Well, you don't lose weight by reading fucking
You
books.
just got to do it.
You don't,
You just
man.
got to do it.
Yeah, and you can't learn language by reading books, but it's good to have books to go to put you in the right direction. So that's fucking neat, dude. But yeah.
A cool thing that I've noticed is we'll see these stands on the side of the road, and they're filled with Absolute vodka bottles with like a blue liquid in them. And for the longest time, we were like, what's up with all these Absolute bottles? Like, they look dirty. They're not like fresh, like off the shelf that you'd see in America.
It's always Absolute, too.
It's always Absolute.
Yeah.
So after a while, we realized it's petrol. So people buy like a liter. It's like a liter Absolute of petrol, dump it in their scooter, and they're like somehow using all these Absolute bottles to put gasoline in. And we're wondering, like, does Absolute have a contract with them?
Let's look that up.
Is there like some sort of recycling program?
I'll figure that out, because you know what? I bet you that'd be relatively easy to figure out.
Why is it blue?
You know? Because it is cool. Like, if Absolute's doing that, the bottles aren't going in the ocean. They're being used for something.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great use of recycling. And it gets us, like, they're not using plastic, right? Plastic's like the worst fucking thing.
Yeah.
And we use a lot of those plastics.
It's a great thing to be doing.
Yeah. So they do that. My driver's the other day, he was cool. I was practicing Indonesian with him, and we were chatting. And he tried to ask me, he's like, brother, you got cash? I need petrol right now. I said, no, only on app. Only, and he's like, oh, okay, no worries, brother. But he tried to push to get me to switch from a card payment to a cash payment mid-ride, which the ride's already booked with, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, brother, I don't want to pay double charge, right? Because I would have just been handing him cash and getting charged on the cards.
Yeah.
So it goes to show, you gotta give pushback sometimes, but these people, they mean well, and we've never felt unsafe or scared or someone trying to pressure you too much for money. Aiden, you've met a guy outside a couple times.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't met him yet,
There's a guy that hangs out in the alley outside of our villa that he kind of goes around giving his sob story. Like, hey, I just lost my job. Like, I lost everything. I'm trying to, like, drive. And I was kind of talking to him. I'm like, normally we take scooters everywhere because that's the cheapest way to do it and also the most efficient because cars get stuck in traffic. Scooters can go around traffic. And
unless it's pouring. If it's pouring fucking rain.
yes, like we took a car to the gym this morning because
and it was
pouring.
quick and there was no one on the road, right?
But yeah, and this guy was saying that he's like more expensive than Grab because he's like, he doesn't support the big corporate structure. And I'm like, I respect that, but we're trying to get the cheapest ride possible and we book it through the app that makes it convenient. So I don't see the value proposition that you're giving me. It just sounds like you're trying to scam us.
Yeah, it's guilt trip and make more money. I'll go on record and support Grab right now. I'll say shout out to Grab.
It's a great app.
It's user friendly, feedback tool, tipping methodology, like everything on there. You can order anything from groceries to toiletries to things from the pharmacy. I believe there's you can get.
It's like Uber Eats, but it doesn't fuck you on prices. It's like actual reasonable prices.
Yeah, it's very reasonable. You find some reasonable stuff on there, and really where you're not getting fucked so much is on the delivery fee. Because if you're paying 20,000 rupiah for the delivery fee, that's $1.20. So
yeah.
Well, shit. Yeah, I guess I could go spend in 30 minutes or an hour to go retrieve my food and get there, and then, or I could, not do that and pay $1.20. No, less than that. Am I doing math right?
What? How many rupiah?
What's 20,000 rupiah?
20,000 rupiah is like, that's like $1.20.
Sounds good to me, man. So
Not too
it's
shabby.
it's pretty great. We're finally getting into the rhythm of things. We were gonna go out this weekend to visit Ubud, but Aiden and I are like, man, we're looking for another villa, and it's sometimes you got to slow down a little bit before you speed up.
Yeah, we can't be taking trips every weekend. That's what we learned because it does get us out of our routines, and we like our routines.
We love them,
it keeps
man.
us stabilized.
It's the foundation. It's the way that we can also provide the best podcasts, the best experience, the best vlogs, and make stronger connections with people, and just be more spiritually fulfilled, right? By getting into those routines and not just burning ourselves out. So it'd be more reasonable for us to do those sort of trips
Like every other weekend.
Yeah, every other weekend, maybe once a month. But you know, there's definitely a few more places we want to see, and really looking forward to Ubud, Nusa Penida,
Yes.
Gili, and just there's shit like
Maybe might get over to Sambella for some surfing.
He knows. We gotta.
Apparently, I know the best surfing spot around
He
here
does,
now.
and I don't think we talked about the surfing. We didn't even cover the surfing. Yet.
We have not covered the surfing.
It's
so
a surfer, man.
Uluwatu is supposed to be really great for surfing. We were recommended to check out Binging Beach.
Binging.
It's like we call it the secret beach because it's like kind of hard to find, and you have to like go down all these steps through these buildings, and then you pop out at this little cliffside. Like there's a bunch of little cafes stacked on top of each other, around each other, and it goes right down to the beach, and beautiful blue water, like Caribbean-esque water.
Maybe a little bit, very little trash, if any, man.
Yes, very little trash compared to like the Canggu Seminyak area where we are now.
You can't beat it.
But
those waves were fucking. I saw him out there, and we got some videos that you guys will see. But
I rented a surfboard for 100,000 rupiah for an hour, so $6. And then when I got back, there was a guy taking photos of me the whole time with a nice camera, and so I paid him another 100,000 rupiah for some pictures, and I got a photo shoot done.
Dude, it was legit. Like I had my iPhone and like poor lighting and shit, and I look back and this guy's got a professional camera, so I'm like, oh, these dudes got their shit together. You know, the guy renting the surfboard was like, hey, talk to my buddy. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. And it was some high quality content.
It felt good to get back on the board. I mean, as someone who loves board sports, surfing is what I have the least experience with, and it feels so right. Being out there, catching a wave, getting up. People always tell me I have the surfer dude aesthetic, so I'm finally living it.
Living that image, bro. I was worried for him because these are like, they're not huge wave. Like any surfer would be like, these are small waves, but to me, right, I just had an introductory level lesson in Seminyak with that Australian guy I met last time, and it was close to shore because you just did Seminyak too. So seeing these waves, I was like, holy fuck. I went in the water and I was getting pummeled so bad I got nauseous, and he's out there with the board. I'm like, dude, if he fucking dies, like I'm still filming content.
I'm still filming
I got
content.
a fucking job to do. So
Well, and the beaches here are interesting, at least down in Uluwatu, because they're very, like there's sand, but there's giant boulders too. And the waves are very aggressive right on shore. Like we're used to Florida beaches where they're very flat, sandy, soft, and they gradually go out into the water. These, like if you're not careful right on shore, you will get fucked up into a boulder. Like
you were bleeding?
Yeah, I had this hole cut in the side of my toe because when we were at Blue Point Beach, a wave hit me and my foot just hit this sharp rock.
We're like, oh, this would be a nice wholesome moment, and then you come back, you're like, dude, that shit really fucked me up. I was getting hit with rocks too, because like when the high tide was coming in, it got everybody wet, and they're like freaking out.
Oh yeah.
Those rocks, the waves were so strong, it was pushing these giant boulders up the shore, and they were like hitting my feet. I'm like, dude, it'd be dangerous definitely for a child.
Yeah.
Like a child getting hit and just washed in, and like a rock go on top of them, but. Beautiful, clean beaches, and the aesthetic of the restaurants. Eating tacos, just overlooking that shit.
Yes.
And then you see the crazy fucking Australians way down there. They've probably been out there all day surfing.
Yes.
So it was definitely a gem of a spot. More quiet than Canggu Seminyak, but nice and peaceful.
And then we had lunch at that one cafe that was really nice.
Was it Tootie's? We had a coconut at Tootie's.
No, it was the day after when it was raining. It was Bucket Cafe.
Oh, Bucket Cafe.
Where you had that massive brisket avocado toast. And I had the ham and cheese croissant. And I had the bulletproof coffee with the coconut oil and the butter.
Dude,
we've been so many places.
I know, and I know everything you're saying, but like I can't picture the place because
really nice
we do
bathrooms.
it every day.
Yeah.
we're fucking... We do it every day. Like we get like good food and go to cool places. You got, okay, I remember your butter coffee. Yes. And we were overlooking. We were a little bit up higher, and that was that where they had that rooftop pool like across the?
No.
Man,
this was in town, like in town. This wasn't by the beach.
Okay.
This was after we bought the pants. We went there.
Oh, that place is cool.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
It clicked. Yeah, that was really cool. Open space, yeah. Great service, excellent food. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Bucket Cafe.
Bucket Cafe.
There's
That's
another
the one.
friend. We're making partnerships out here. We ally for sure of Bucket Cafe. And I'm trying to just
The ride home from Uluwatu sucked.
That shit did suck. Dude, shout out to Aidan for having Dreamin, because he looked at me, he's like, hey man, how you doing? You need some Dreamin? I'm like, yes. Yes, I
do have some?
I'm like, do you have some? Yeah, you can get it out of the back. Yeah, that'd be great, man. And driver was...
I mean, we're on these tiny roads in traffic. Dude's driving stick. He's not good at it. So we're just like fucking shaking in the back.
down
Like
hills.
I started to get nauseous. I took the Dreamin too.
Yeah, he did. You were feeling worse than me when we got back because you took it a little bit later than I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was rough. Ride there was smooth. And then, of course, it's always fun. We call it Mario Kart. When we're on the scooters and Aiden and I are passing each other, and I'm like, fuck you.
You always
fuck
beat me.
you. Yeah.
Even if my
drivers are fast.
driver picks me up first.
Yeah. I'm always talking shit. And I'm like, you see that guy over there? You got to beat him in a race. That Grab driver is your enemy, sir. He's like, okay, boss. Okay, boss. I'm like, dude, you got to beat this guy.
Okay, boss.
Undefeated Mario Kart champion, Bali. So it's fun. It's the little things, man. But yeah, we're still doing, just a little bit about kind of the regular cadences. We go to Soham Wellness every day, and they've got an excellent facility. They got a fucking pool, infinity pool outside.
It's like
the restaurant.
a dream gym, to be quite honest.
We did the walkthrough. We were super impressed, man. They have cold plunge, sauna, steam room. We'll call it a lukewarm tub.
The lukewarm tub.
It's a lukewarm tub, but it's nice, especially after you take a dip in the cold plunge. And
it's cool because it's 3 stories. So like the bottom level, it's a little cafe and reception. Yep. They have like a little area for classes.
Yep.
Second floor, you got the outdoor pool with a cafe out there. So it's a really nice place to go lay out in the sun, take a little dip. Mm-hmm. And then inside you have your weight room, cardio room. They always have fresh cucumber-infused water on tap, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Today they were burning incense.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I haven't noticed that every time.
Where do they burn the incense at?
I just smelled it. I couldn't tell.
Aiden's got the most sensitive ears and nose out of anyone I know.
Shout out to my mom for giving me that shit.
Yeah, shout out to you. Also, not thank you so much.
I'm very sensitive.
It's very sensitive.
But they also, early in the morning, this gym plays banging techno house music, which I have never found at a gym. Yeah. That is my favorite music to work out to. I half the time don't wear my headphones anymore because the music there is so good. This is my gym. I found it.
Yeah, and to speak to the music, even everywhere, restaurants seem to have good.
Yeah.
They always got a good DJ on site. The DJ at Potato Head was kind of fucking up a little bit the other day, right before it got rainy.
Yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday. It kept missing beats, it was skipping, and I don't know, maybe they had an equipment malfunction. But
I must not have been there yet.
Back to Soham. What the fuck? I want to talk more about Soham. Oh, also.
Oh, the top floor. Yes.
Yes, the top floor. Top floor. We're talking about the sauna, steam room.
Yes.
Yeah.
The relaxation room.
They got a relaxation room, which we haven't really used.
Yeah.
But you go in there for quiet meditation.
There's a yoga room.
Yoga room. They have everything, all the classes, and then we're gonna see at some point tomorrow a massage room because they're gonna foot massage.
Oh yeah, we're getting our first reflexology.
Which came with the package. We didn't pay for it. They said, hey, you get a free. She said it was an hour. Was it an hour?
Yeah, an hour.
Hour foot rub, dude. Amazing. So, Soham Wellness, excellent facility, and a place that I would highly recommend. If you don't stay in Seminyak or Canggu, get a day pass and check it out. It's worth checking out for sure.
Yeah, friendly staff.
Yeah.
They take good care of us.
You're going to meet a lot of digital nomads as well. The people you meet there, it's crazy, from all around the world. We met some Americans today. I did meet an American the other day named Mike. He was pretty cool. He was older. He's like, yeah, just retired, decided to come out here. I was like, good for you, man. Good for you. You guys are doing the damn thing. So
nice.
It's cool. It's cool. Good place to work too, because you can work downstairs if it's raining, and then if it's outside and it's nice, you could work by the pool. And there's just a lot of different spots. Wi-Fi's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. I gotta say, I was very impressed with that Beach Bowl place that we tried yesterday.
Yeah, I enjoyed that place.
The coffee, the food.
I thought it could have been a little bit colder.
A little bit colder, really?
A little bit colder, yeah.
Okay.
I was heating up a little bit. That was a good spot, and it's right next to the beach, too. Which is cool.
Great spot.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Starting to get the lay of the land on that main road at least.
Yeah.
Because we'll leave Soham in the morning and then just kind of walk down the road and either go to Potato Head to work or check out some new cafes.
Potato Head's awesome. I'm
It
such
is a
Potato
very cool beach club,
Yep.
and now we know how to get in for free.
Listen, all it takes is some volunteering, and so we've done it twice now, is the beach cleanup. Aidan and I said we wanted to do some sort of charity event, something outside of ourselves that we don't get paid for that is good for the world, right? And I did this back in Michigan, especially when I got sober. Almost every week I volunteered for a charity, and just the people you meet, so you meet good people there, it feels good, it's something, and it gets you to step outside of yourself and like, oh, fuck are my problems such a big deal? Huh, best way to solve your problems is to just fucking go do something for someone else, right?
And it was a good time.
Yeah,
like they
it's
give
great.
you gloves and a little, like a tool, a grabby tool in a bag.
And they like to see it too, man.
And there's a lot of trash on the beach, so it feels
lot.
like, we're doing something.
We're trying. It almost feels like an uphill battle because I've been told
Yeah.
that when they come back, when people come back the next day, all the trash is just there again. But it's like, hey, at least for today, there's a little bit less. So
Yeah.
everything makes a difference. And we met his buddy Alexandro and some of his friends, and we did it together, taking pictures out there. So it's a good way to stay involved with the community as well, right? And it's been pretty solid. And like much to what Aidan said, we are developing these routines. We're figuring it out. We're getting more comfortable being uncomfortable, especially with this too. There's always elements of, oh, what do we say? What do we talk about? How do we make this, structured but also authentic? And how do we make it funny but serious? And
Yeah. We're learning as we go.
That's it, man.
But keeping it authentic is key.
Yes.
Like even if we're fucking things up,
Yes.
we're really learning as we go, and we can only hope that you guys are entertained.
That's it, man. We just we want to do right by ourselves, and we want to do right by you, and really kind of just show you that it's not that hard to get up and go and do something that might seem kind of crazy, because
Like move around the world
like move around the world with
to a country you've never been to.
country you've never been to, with a language you don't speak, with not maybe this is something people think in their head, like, oh, I would only do that if I was this old and I had this much money.
And I get it,
Yeah.
because we are in a position that it
Yeah.
was easier for us
Yeah,
because we're single, we don't have a lot of attachments, we had some savings, so we were able to come out here.
Sure.
So I will acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But even if you have a family, if
Yeah.
you have a career, there are things you can do to make it happen.
There's international schools here. Some of them are really great, actually, because I did research prior to coming out here, and
It would be so good to raise a child in a place like this.
it'd be
I
neat,
mean,
man.
all of the different cultures you get exposed to.
Yeah, it's something special for sure. So we're here for the journey, guys, and I feel like this is a pretty thorough podcast. We covered a lot, and well, hope you enjoyed podcast number 2. We definitely have more content coming your way soon.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for the Bali Boys.
Stay tuned, guys. Peace.